Alright, it's Saturday morning at MineCon. My voice is pretty shot at this point, but I wanted to share some stuff with you guys regarding the custom map panel that you will not see anywhere else. And the reason I'm going to show it to you in this format is just because uploading from my phone is much easier than uploading from my computer via wireless here. The internet connection is so slow. So what this is here, this notepad, was some notes that I had got together for a discussion a couple days ago, and I know the camera's shaking. I'm pretty tired here, but this is some notes that I had got together for the map panel about what topics I would want to try and cover during any questions asked to me, or if there was a lull in questions that I could bring up to the panel. Each of the panelists kind of did some of this in prep. So if you're ever on a panel for a convention, the first advice that I would tell you is to obviously know your subject matter area and prepare in advance by just writing down, if you were in the audience, what would you want to know from the panelists, then write down what are you good at, and write down what kind of audience you would hope to have in the panel and what questions you think they might ask you. And then, so I did some of that. I just kind of marked off my top 3 things, but I wanted to talk about feedback targets. So a lot of people that make custom maps and put them on the forums get disgruntled when they don't get a lot of comments or they don't get constructive comments. So I'm going to talk about that more in a moment. More advice to map makers: play other maps. That is so important, seeing what other people have done, what you feel worked well. Setting your limits, knowing your limits. I think I talked about that in the panel. Having a checklist for testing your map. I think I talked about that in the panel. And regarding humor, so try to use natural humor. Don't force it. If you think you're funny and you want your map to be funny, go ahead and put signs in, put in comical things, but just don't force it. A lot of the maps that I've seen with sort of one-off comments that are intended to be slightly funny are way more funny and way more casual than maps that are where every sign tries to be funny. Okay, how to get noticed. Definitely make a YouTube trailer. Even if you are not at all good at trailers, all you have to do is take screenshots of your map, put them together with some kind of a free program such as Windows Live Movie Maker. If you can, find free to publish usable audio. Don't pirate audio, and just put it in the background and put that up, and that's enough. Just something so people can see what your map looks like in an animated fashion. If you can get Fraps and record it, even better, or some other tool, but definitely make a trailer. I feel like it just puts an extra layer of polish on your map. If you can't do that, or even if you can, screenshots on your forum thread are awesome. Now, both of these things can be great, but if there are too many screenshots in your forum thread, I would suggest taking the best one, putting that in your forum thread, and then putting the rest under a spoiler tag so people can expand them if they want to, but they're not forced to load them all up and see them. I was potentially going to talk in the panel about your timing and getting noticed. So as I mentioned before, map makers get frustrated when they don't get noticed. I think at least 80% of getting noticed on the Minecraft forums, on Reddit, or on other channels that move very fast is timing. If you don't post at a key time where somebody's going to see your map and then let their friends know about it, you won't get noticed. It's unfortunately the sad fact. Aranev Mansion is a great adventure map. That was in my queue for like a month or 2. It felt like longer before I even looked at it, let alone played it. And it turned out to be, one of my favorite maps. Something that is out on YouTube seems to me much easier to get noticed and get propagated, and then it helps your YouTube channel as well. But do not feel bad if you're not getting noticed. Just keep trying. One thing that I do is I go out to other map posts and I look at them and I comment on them. Even if I am downloading the map and I can't play it right away, I'll just put a comment that says, hey, I'm downloading this for later. And that does two things. One is it'll bump their thread up, and that author is more likely to come and bump your thread up. But secondly, if you have a signature on your forum thread, now anyone reading through those comments might just look at your signature and lead it back to your map. So go out to the forums and comment on people's posts. Don't post bump, but put something constructive, or hey, I love the screenshot, or I played this map and it was great, or if you can, leave feedback of what you liked about their map. Or hey, this map looks like my map, and then put a link to your map in there. That's fine. Again, don't be like a spammer or a troller, but supporting other people's forums will pay you back. It will. Of course, you can, now that we have a good pinned map list by Blame the Controller, you can put your map on his forum post as well. So I know, riveting visual, but I hope this audio is useful to somebody. Twitter, Reddit. Oh, Twitter's another great channel. Obviously, if people aren't following you, they're not going to see you on Twitter. But once you do start to get some map followers, Twitter's a great way to keep in touch with them. Besides the forums, Planet Minecraft I've found to be a good place to get traffic. And I've found maps that are on Planet Minecraft but not on the forums. There's also, the Yogiverse has forums with maps. Their forum moves a little slower, but so you may be able to get more timely attention there. Two Girls, One Minecraft, Minecraft After Dark, the Shaft podcast. Everyone that I've talked to this year has now pretty much created their own website with forums, and they all have forum links with custom maps. So there's a lot of places you could go to put your maps out there. And I would just say, if you do put your maps out on lots of forums, keep a list, because you want to tend those crops, right? It's like planting seeds in a farm field. If you just let them grow wild and people spend time putting feedback on your forum post, and you don't ever go and thank them for their feedback, or you don't ever update those threads when you put out new versions or new maps, then you've wasted a lot of people's time. So if you're going to do it, and I do suggest doing it, but go out there and nurture all those farm fields that you planted in different gardens. I already talked about YouTube. Playthroughs of your maps. So every once in a while, what you should do is, if you do have a map out there, just go to YouTube and search for the title of your map. See if people have done playthroughs and haven't bothered to link back to you or let you know that you have a playthrough, and watch them. And be prepared to see people screw up your map, tear your map to bits, complain about something that they think is wrong with your map, but maybe a shortcoming of Minecraft, maybe a shortcoming of the way that they play the game. It doesn't necessarily mean that your map is bad. However, I have watched, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 100 playthroughs of my maps at this point from different people. And I've learned something from everyone, even if they're just walking through and doing a perfect playthrough. I might notice one block in the background that's out of place, or that I could move to create a slightly wider hallway or something like that. So watch playthroughs. And also, it helps you understand how people play your map. One thing that I really was surprised by, and I probably shouldn't have been surprised, but I'm really intrigued by, is that most of my maps are made for a single player. However, almost all of the best YouTube playthroughs I've seen, and the majority of the YouTube playthroughs I've seen, have been 2 to 3 players, mostly 2 players. So supporting multiplayer in your map, there's 2 main things that you can do. One is make sure that your spawn point supports multiplayer. I'm not going to go into super great detail here, just because I'm almost at 10 minutes. But think about where you spawn for multiplayer, and also think about how much gear you put in your chest. So put 2 rows of swords and armor in there instead of 1, or put 4 for that matter, so that multiplayer, 2 players can each grab a set and then have an extra set if they die. Don't get upset with players not following your rules. That's not, that is not a hard and fast rule. That's a guideline that you set out for your players to enjoy the map the way that you think they should enjoy your map. but 9 out of 10 times a rule is going to get missed. And think about when you watch a playthrough, if they do fail to follow your rules, is it because the rule just makes it overly complicated for them and isn't really adding to the gameplay, and maybe you want to tweak that rule? Or is there something in your map that you might want to change to make that rule more supportable? So I'm gonna stop this here because this is gonna be a pretty long upload. I thought this would be like a 2-minute video, and I'm gonna do a part 2 of this. So I hope map makers, prospective map makers, folks that were at our panel that couldn't be at our panel, etc., get something out of this. This is going to be a brain dump.